I remember saying goodbye. No matter how many times I told myself I would return, I still said goodbye. But what else could I have done in that moment? I was in a hotel lobby in New York City, preparing to leave my family for 1 year to be a foreign exchange student in Italy. Until I would get on that plane, my feet had only known American soil. My tongue had only spoken English. I knew only my inner circle of friends and family, so my world was very small. But I was about to embark on an experience that would expand that circle significantly. Once I arrived in the terminal at Rome, I realized just how little Italian I knew. But I was confident that I would excel in the language thanks to my 3 years of high school Spanish lessons. Then, reality hit me when I realized I had no memory of the lessons learned in Spanish class, since hola wouldn't even roll off my tongue. It's funny how 10 months later, I could speak Italian fluently without traditional coursework. My personal experience taught me that immersion is the only way to fully learn a language. The dream I had imagined of meeting my host family quickly turned into a nightmare of silence when they did not speak English and I did not know Italian. Though it seemed problematic in the beginning, we soon learned that verbal language is a small barrier to overcome. We drew pictures. We acted out our needs. We gesticulated. We could all earn a good living as mimes after our year together. After 3 short months, I could carry on a basic conversation in Italian. Plus, I learned one thing more that I could never learn from a textbook. That is the true language, which, like the people, is ever-changing, ever-developing, and always vibrant. For instance, I remember the exact moment I realized just how different the 2 languages were. I was jogging with my host family, past a cemetery no less, when I couldn't take it anymore. I had to stop and catch my breath. The next thing I knew, my host mother was yelling at me, "Die, die!" I was terrified until I realized that die in Italian means, "Come on, keep it moving." Imagine my relief when someone finally explained this to me. Or the countless number of times I would embarrass myself by responding, "Si," to a question like, "Where are you from?" Not only did I not understand the question, but I had no vocabulary to respond with. Being in the country forced me to learn how to speak and understand the language simultaneously. But the most rewarding part of the full immersion technique is the cultural understanding that comes along with it. It is so much easier for me to talk about the Sistine Chapel because the memory of staring up at the ceiling with my best friend comes to mind. And I'm never lost for words when telling stories about Venice because I can recall wearing a Venetian mask during Carnival. In essence, the experiences lived are just as important as the words spoken. Language is not all about diction and grammar. It consists of the moments passed joking with friends, the challenges that are faced in a difficult situation, and the love that is felt from those who care most. In a classroom, a student learns the diction and the grammar, but through immersion, a student acquires the fullness of a language. Though my experience makes me well-versed on the subject, it does not make me an expert. So let's put it to the 4-way test. Is it the truth? Many studies, like one conducted by Georgetown University Medical Center, prove that students who are immersed in a language attain and retain the language much longer than students learning that same language in a classroom setting. This phenomenon is due to the extensive usage and practice a student experiences on a day-to-day basis in the country. Is it fair to all concerned? If you were to ask my mother before I left if the experience was fair to her, she probably would have told you no. But even she cannot deny how much she has gained from this. She is now prepared for when I go off to college, and she is even more culturally sensitive thanks to the first-hand accounts I am able to give her. My host family in Italy, they now have a new outlook on the American way of life. They've gained a new perspective, new language skills, and most importantly, a new daughter. As for me, I am now able to call more than one place on this earth home. Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Of course, the best friendships can be made through immersion. The great wars have always been started because of the clash between cultures. And how much better would this world be if we understand why people live the way they do on the other half of the globe? Each person has something to offer to the relationship, and in the end, everyone learns something new. Is it beneficial to all concerned? There are an infinite number of ways that immersion has benefited me, but I am not the only person who has gained something from this experience. My family and friends on both sides of the world now have new outlooks on each way of life, and my teachers are able to use my firsthand accounts in class to help my classmates understand foreign cultures. And each person I encounter and tell about this experience, well, they become interested in trying it for themselves. Immersion has helped to connect everyone on a global scale. I remember saying goodbye. I was in the airport preparing to return to the US after my year in Italy. My year of immersion proved not only to be the most effective way to learn a language, but also the most rewarding experience of my life. Thank you.